4 carbs you must eat daily, and 4 you should never touch. After 60, the wrong carbs can wreck you. They spike blood sugar, destroy your gut, and silently trigger memory loss, muscle loss, and stroke. A major study found they raise your diabetes risk by 70%, and most seniors eat them daily without knowing. Cereal, toast, crackers, even healthy carbs are killing your energy and speeding up aging. In this video, we reveal the 4 best carbs to eat daily and the 4 worst that are aging you fast, ranked from least to most powerful and least to most dangerous. Stick around, because number 1 on the worst list is linked to heart failure and early dementia. It's probably in your kitchen right now. Everything here is backed by science, with every reference linked below. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And how old are you? We're replying to every single one. Let's start with number 4 best carb. This one fool almost everyone. Number 4. Green peas. Green peas might seem too simple to matter, but for seniors, they're a powerful muscle-saving carb that too many people overlook. Unlike fast-burning carbs like white rice or white potatoes, green peas are rich in resistant starch and soluble fiber, which means they digest slowly, stabilize your blood sugar, and prevent those dangerous insulin spikes that become more common after 60. But peas do more than balance sugar. They directly support muscle repair. Here's what most people don't realize. Peas are one of the only high-carb vegetables that contain leucine, a branched-chain amino acid that signals your body to build and maintain muscle. And after 60, your body is already in a catabolic state, meaning it's breaking down muscle faster than it builds it. Without leucine-rich carbs, this breakdown accelerates. According to a 2022 study published in Nutrients, seniors who ate green legumes like peas at least 3 times per week preserved 14% more muscle mass over 2 years compared to those who didn't, even without exercise. Green peas also help protect your gut, which is critical for carb digestion. They contain cholesterol, a phytonutrient that reduces inflammation in the intestinal lining. And when your gut is inflamed, every carb, even the good ones, becomes harder to process. That's why seniors with irritable bowels or gas often get worse when they skip fiber-rich plant starches like peas. Worse, poor gut health blocks nutrient absorption, leaving you tired, achy, and foggy-headed. To get the full benefit, don't boil them to mush. Instead, steam them lightly and finish with olive oil and garlic. This keeps their fiber and phytonutrients intact while boosting absorption. Green peas aren't just a side dish. They're a strategic anabolic carb that helps seniors fight fatigue, rebuild lost muscle, and keep inflammation down. Add them back into your diet at least 3 times a week and you'll feel the difference. Number 3. Steel-cut oats. Steel-cut oats aren't just a breakfast staple. They're a metabolic shield for seniors. Unlike instant oats or quick-cook packets that are processed and stripped of structure, steel-cut oats digest slowly, release glucose gradually, and help keep blood sugar steady for hours. That's a game changer after 60, when insulin resistance starts creeping in and most carbs send your sugar level soaring. The slow absorption from steel-cut oats gives your pancreas a break and helps preserve the delicate hormonal balance your body needs to stay energized and sharp. But what makes steel-cut oats stand out even more is beta-glucan, a unique soluble fiber found in high concentrations only in minimally processed oats. This compound has been shown in dozens of studies to lower LDL cholesterol, reduce systemic inflammation, and improve gut barrier integrity. 3 issues that get worse with age. A 2023 meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that just 1 bowl of steel-cut oats per day lowered LDL cholesterol by up to 15% in adults over 60 and significantly reduced C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation linked to arthritis, cognitive decline, and stroke. Even more shocking, beta-glucan helps regulate your immune system. After 60, your immune cells become sluggish, leading to higher risk of infection and slower healing. Oats feed the beneficial bacteria in your colon, especially bifidobacteria, which produce short-chain fatty acids that heal your gut lining, control cravings, and even boost serotonin levels. That means better digestion, better mood, and better immune resilience, all from a carb that takes just 15 minutes to cook. To make the most of steel-cut oats, avoid loading them with brown sugar or processed milk. Instead, cook with water or unsweetened almond milk. Add cinnamon for blood sugar control, and top with berries or flax seeds for extra antioxidants. Steel-cut oats aren't just heart-healthy. They're one of the few carbs that actively protect seniors from the inside out. If you're tired of sugar crashes, brain fog, or sluggish mornings, oats might be the daily ritual your body's been missing. Number 2. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes aren't just delicious. They're one of the most complete, senior-friendly carbs on the planet. Unlike white potatoes, which spike your blood sugar and offer little nutritional return, sweet potatoes deliver slow-burning complex carbohydrates that fuel your body without overwhelming your insulin response. That's essential after 60, when even moderate sugar spikes can lead to chronic fatigue, blurry vision, and accelerated vascular damage. What makes sweet potatoes especially valuable is their extremely high content of beta-carotene, a plant pigment that your body converts into vitamin A, a nutrient most seniors are deficient in. Vitamin A supports your immune system, protects your skin, and improves vision. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging found that older adults who regularly consumed orange-fleshed vegetables, like sweet potatoes, had significantly better memory retention, fewer colds, and lower rates of macular degeneration. It's not just the carbs in sweet potatoes, it's the protective package they come in. But there's more. Sweet potatoes are rich in resistant starch, especially when cooked and then cooled. Resistant starch feeds the beneficial bacteria in your colon, producing butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that reduces inflammation, strengthens your intestinal barrier, and even reduces the risk of colon cancer. Seniors with weak digestion, leaky gut, or IBS-like symptoms often see improvements when they swap refined carbs for cooled sweet potatoes. They also contain magnesium and potassium, two electrolytes essential for muscle contraction and heart rhythm, and both of which are lost more easily with age or certain medications. If your legs cramp at night or your heart rhythm feels off, sweet potatoes may be part of the solution your doctor never mentioned. To get the full benefit, roast them whole with the skin on. Avoid drowning them in marshmallows or sugar. A pinch of cinnamon or turmeric can amplify their blood sugar lowering and anti-inflammatory effects. When you eat sweet potatoes, you're not just satisfying your carb cravings, you're strengthening your gut, stabilizing your blood sugar, and protecting your brain and vision all in one bite. Number 1. Lentils. Lentils are not just a source of plant-based protein. They are the single most beneficial carbohydrate seniors can eat daily. They're loaded with complex starch, soluble fiber, and key minerals that repair aging tissues, balance blood sugar, and even reduce the risk of chronic disease by more than 30%. Unlike processed carbs that cause inflammation and crash your energy, lentils stabilize everything: your glucose, your digestion, and even your mood. Here's why they matter more after 60. Lentils are incredibly low on the glycemic index, meaning they cause virtually no blood sugar spike. But they still provide long-lasting energy, which is critical as your mitochondria, your body's energy factories, naturally slow down with age. A 2021 study from the British Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed lentils 3 times per week had significantly lower fasting glucose, improved cholesterol ratios, and far better insulin sensitivity compared to non-legume eaters. Even more important, lentils are packed with prebiotic fiber that directly feeds the gut microbiome. After 60, your gut bacteria diversity drops dramatically, and this is linked to immune dysfunction, brain fog, and joint pain. The type of fiber in lentils helps restore microbial balance, producing anti-inflammatory compounds like propionate and acetate that protect the lining of your intestines. With a stronger gut barrier, seniors absorb more nutrients, detox more efficiently, and experience less bloating and inflammation after meals. Lentils are also rich in iron, folate, and magnesium, nutrients most seniors lack. Iron keeps your red blood cells strong. Folate supports your brain and DNA repair, and magnesium calms your nervous system while supporting muscle and bone density. For women over 60, folate is especially critical to avoid memory decline and protect cardiovascular function. To get the full benefits, cook lentils with anti-inflammatory spices like cumin, garlic, or bay leaf. Avoid canned varieties loaded with sodium and go for dried or minimally processed lentils instead. Red lentils cook fastest, while brown and green offer a firmer bite. Add them to soups, stews, or even cold salads for a daily carb that does everything white bread can't. And more. Now that you know the 4 best carbs that fuel your body, protect your muscles, and stabilize your energy after 60. So let's count down the 4 worst carbs seniors should never touch, starting with a familiar favorite that's silently aging your body every day. Number 4. White sandwich bread. White sandwich bread is one of the most dangerous staples in the senior diet, not because it tastes sweet, but because it doesn't have to. Most people over 60 grew up eating white bread daily, toast in the morning, sandwiches at lunch, a slice with soup or salad. But the modern version is nothing like what your parents ate. Today's white bread is made from bleached, ultra-refined flour that digests faster than sugar, creating a massive glucose spike in just minutes. And those spikes matter more than ever after 60. A 2021 study in diabetes care followed over 8,000 adults over age 60 and found that daily white bread consumption raised the risk of type 2 diabetes by 29% and heart disease by 16%. Why? Because as you age, your pancreas slows down, your cells become insulin resistant, and your blood sugar stays elevated longer than it used to. This silent storm damages your blood vessels, inflames your nerves, and even starves your brain cells of energy. White bread also delivers almost zero fiber, which means your gut bacteria go hungry. And when your microbiome gets weak, your immune system crashes, your digestion slows, and inflammation runs wild through your body. Worse, most white breads today contain added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and so-called enriched flours that do nothing but trick your body into thinking it's full, while feeding the very diseases you're trying to avoid. If you're eating white bread at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your body is fighting a sugar battle it cannot win. The solution? Switch to 100% sprouted grain or stone-ground whole grain bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Read every label. Wheat isn't enough unless it's the first ingredient, and multigrain usually means nothing. If you want steady energy, sharper focus, and real protection against stroke and diabetes, leaving white sandwich bread behind may be the most important decision you make this year. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 3. Rice cakes. They're light, crunchy, and marketed as a diet food. But rice cakes are one of the most misleading and dangerous carbs for seniors. With almost no fat, no fiber, and zero real nutrition, rice cakes hit your bloodstream like pure sugar. Your body digests them in minutes, causing a sharp glucose spike, followed by an equally fast crash. And after 60, those repeated spikes don't just make you tired. They increase your risk for diabetes, memory loss, and muscle wasting. Most rice cakes are made from puffed white rice, which has a glycemic index over 80, higher than table sugar. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that high glycemic index foods like puffed rice raised post-meal blood sugar by over 200% compared to low glycemic index whole grains in seniors. That spike triggers a huge release of insulin, but aging cells don't respond well, so your blood sugar stays elevated longer, leading to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even nerve damage. Rice cakes also fail to satisfy your hunger. Because they lack fiber, protein, and fat, they do nothing to slow digestion or activate fullness hormones like leptin. That means you feel hungrier sooner, snack more often, and gain weight over time, even if you think you're eating light. Many seniors turn to rice cakes as a safe snack, but what they're really getting is a metabolic roller coaster that makes energy, focus, and gut health worse. To make matters worse, flavored rice cakes often contain maltodextrin, artificial sweeteners, and sodium-rich coatings that can raise your blood pressure and damage your gut lining. And even plain rice cakes offer little more than empty starch that feeds the wrong gut bacteria and promotes bloating, constipation, and inflammation. If you're reaching for rice cakes thinking they're a smart snack, it's time to rethink your habit. Swap them for a small handful of raw almonds or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. These choices support blood sugar control, muscle maintenance, and gut health, all critical as you age. Rice cakes may seem innocent, but for seniors, they're just another fast carb accelerating the very problems you're trying to avoid. Number 2. Packaged breakfast cereals. They're colorful, crunchy, and claim to be fortified with vitamins, but most packaged breakfast cereals are one of the most dangerous carbs a senior can eat. From cornflakes to honey clusters to so-called bran blends, nearly every box on the shelf is loaded with refined grains, added sugars, and chemical preservatives that wreak havoc on your blood sugar, digestion, and long-term health. The problem starts with how these cereals are made. During processing, the grains are stripped of their natural fiber and germ, leaving behind nothing but fast-burning starch. And because these cereals are often puffed, flaked, or coated for crunch, your body absorbs them as fast as pure glucose. That spike forces your pancreas to dump insulin into your system, which becomes more dangerous after 60, when your insulin response is slower and your cells stop responding efficiently. This leads to more sugar in your bloodstream for longer, feeding inflammation, fatigue, and brain fog. A 2019 study from the Journal of Gerontology found that adults over 60 who ate processed breakfast cereal 5 or more times per week had a 22% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome, a cluster of symptoms including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and belly fat. Many of these cereals are also packed with phosphates and emulsifiers, which damage your gut lining and deplete key minerals like calcium and magnesium. That means weaker bones, tighter muscles, and a higher risk of falls and fractures. Even cereals labeled whole grain or fiber-rich are often sweetened with corn syrup, barley malt, or fruit juice concentrate, which hit your system like sugar. Some contain over 20 grams of sugar per serving, hidden under different names. And if you're pairing that cereal with low-fat milk, you're just adding more sugar on top, without the fat your body needs to slow digestion and support your hormones. The fix: ditch the boxes. If you need a quick breakfast, reach for unsweetened Greek yogurt with chia seeds or a boiled egg with a slice of real whole grain toast. Packaged cereal might feel like a convenient way to start your day, but for seniors, it's often the first step toward blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and energy crashes that last all morning. Number 1. French fries. They're golden. They're crispy. And for many seniors, they're irresistible. But French fries are the most dangerous carbohydrate you can put in your body after 60. They're not just high in refined starch. They're deep-fried in inflammatory oils, stripped of fiber, and laced with salt and chemical preservatives that damage nearly every organ in your aging body. You're not eating a vegetable. You're swallowing a blood sugar bomb wrapped in a heart attack. Here's the problem. Potatoes on their own already have a high glycemic index, meaning they spike blood sugar fast. But when you cut them thin, fry them in toxic vegetable oils, and add salt and artificial flavorings, they become metabolically devastating. A 2023 study in the journal Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who consumed fried potatoes at least twice per week had a 36% higher risk of stroke and were twice as likely to develop insulin resistance and vascular stiffness, even if their overall diet was moderate. French fries also destroy your gut bacteria. Most are cooked in reused oils containing acrylamide, a cancer-linked compound that forms when starchy foods are fried at high heat. These compounds weaken your gut barrier, promote inflammation, and reduce absorption of key vitamins like B12, magnesium, and folate, nutrients your brain and muscles desperately need after 60. And the salt. Most fast food or frozen fries contain over 300 milligrams of sodium per serving, and nobody eats just one serving. That overload stiffens your arteries, raises blood pressure, and forces your kidneys to work overtime. Combine that with the carb load, and you've got the perfect recipe for fatigue, brain fog, swollen ankles, and declining heart function. What makes French fries especially dangerous is their emotional comfort. They're often paired with social eating, burgers, sandwiches, or takeout, making them harder to resist. But the toll they take on your metabolism, cognition, and circulation is no small thing. After 60, every bite either helps you heal or pushes you closer to disease. If you love potatoes, bake sweet potato wedges with olive oil and herbs. But if you're still eating French fries every week, understand they're not just a guilty pleasure. They're quietly robbing your energy, clarity, and lifespan. If you're over 60, your body doesn't process carbohydrates the way it used to. The wrong carbs now hit harder, stay longer, and cause more damage than they ever did in your younger years. Fast digesting, fiberless carbs like white bread, rice cakes, and French fries create a storm inside your body, spiking your blood sugar, exhausting your pancreas, and flooding your bloodstream with inflammation. Over time, these effects lead to slower thinking, weaker muscles, unstable energy, and a much higher risk of stroke, diabetes, and early frailty. But not all carbs are the enemy. The right ones, like lentils, steel-cut oats, and sweet potatoes, are packed with slow-burning fuel, muscle-building nutrients, and gut-healing fibers that reverse many of the changes that come with aging. These carbs stabilize your blood sugar, feed your microbiome, and keep your body in repair mode instead of breakdown. And when eaten daily, they can sharpen your mind, protect your joints, and help you maintain the energy you need to stay independent. The truth is every carb you eat is either speeding up aging or slowing it down. There's no in between. That's why choosing the right carbs and cutting out the worst offenders is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health after 60. You don't need to give up carbs. You just need to give up the ones that are quietly working against you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.